I feel like you're chosen to do certain things before you're born. Before you've even entered this planet. You've got some people, they chose to do a certain thing. And I think it's completely irrelevant of whose family you're in. Some people can be given to other people's family or born into them. And you'd probably feel like you're the odd one out, like you're completely different in your beliefs, the way you feel and think. Perhaps you're quite curious as a child, a bit of a deep thinker. But all you know is that you're not like the rest of your family. And that's not a bad thing. It holds a purpose, because sometimes when you're completely different, it's because you've been chosen to be a vessel in the future for something bigger, something greater. And, only your vessel, your mind, body and soul can hold that. Your families can't. That's not a part of their destiny or their path. It was chosen for you and you only. And it could be anything really, anything you enjoyed learning, or just things you enjoyed learning about that other people, they didn't understand. They didn't understand it and didn't want to understand it. Certain wisdom, information, knowing, knowledge you were given from the universe. You knew it came from somewhere, but you're not quite sure where. But you know that you've held a lot of information at a very, very, very young age, and don't really know where it all come from, really. You just know that you know, that is a part of your character and your personality, and you don't really understand it at the time and why it's there, and why you're obsessed with certain subjects, and why you're a bit different than everybody else, things that people wouldn't even dream about learning. And that's because it's not a part of their path, it's not part of their destiny. They wasn't chosen to do a certain thing. You was. It was part of your destiny, your path. Your vessel was strong enough to execute it in the future, whatever it might be. And I do believe that everything we learn at any age, it all has a purpose. You might not understand it at the time. And why do I know all this at such an early age? And why have I got completely different mindset and a belief system to everybody else around me, including this family I was born into or given to? And it's because, perhaps your trials and tribulations as well along the way were meant to be a part of your destiny. That was meant to strengthen your character, being a part of that family, your family or your karmic families, whoever you grew up with, or even the friends around you. Perhaps they wasn't really meant to understand you. You were just meant to just fit in to a certain point. But eventually, when your vessel's not so weak, when it's completely strengthened, your mind, body, spirit and soul, when it's all strengthened, it's then you will get the call from the universe and you'll have to step forward. You will completely understand it. Some people are supposed to do things when they're a little bit older in life, not when they're younger. There's a timeline for everything. And you would be pushed and called to do something when you need to give back to the people and the universe. It could be anything. We're all born with our gifts, abilities and purposes on this earth. And it all holds a meaning for your destiny, for where you're meant to be in the future. So never think it's not taking you anywhere, because you're not learning these things for nothing. Sometimes it was given to you before you were born, because God and the universe saw you as the absolute perfect vessel to be able to hold all that information, and then for you to become the person you need to be in the future and step forward and step into your destiny and where you need to be, and showcase yourself. Allow people to learn the stuff that you know And it could be anything. So I think that's, one of the reasons. Anyway, have a blessed day.